I get asked a lot, like, okay, hey, Brand, like, well, you're the one that speaks about fundamentals, right? And this is really what we're doing. So obviously for the replay, for everybody that's watching the replay right now, welcome to the Sunday Outlook call. Rich is not here. It's just me rocking it today. And we're going to speak about obviously fundamentals, news, what we look at, what happened last week. But I want to start off really speaking about what's going on right now, right? That biggest question and really that uncertainty. And the problem here is what the media does, right? It creates some sort of pandemonium, some sort of fear. And that's the last thing we're supposed to do. We speak about it when we talk about news and fundamentals. Hey, it's all just smoke. Like, don't freak out, relax, like, just chill. It's the same situation right now, right? So, first off, it's the tariff situation. And I'm not going into politics here. This is not going in any sort of sense like that, right? We're speaking just really what it is, what the numbers are. And I'm not a financial advisor or anything like that. This just was the investigation that I've done, and it's the information that I take. You obviously please do due diligence and do the same. Well, we're talking about tariffs, what's happening, right? It's one country imposes a fee on the other country to be able to bring in those goods, those services, right? The first mistake that I see a lot, and it's something where we need to remain calm and not freak out, and that's something that I constantly see is, oh, okay, you live in the States and there's tariffs on Canada, there's tariffs on Mexico. Well, if you're buying a car from Canada and the car is 50,000, now you are paying 65. And I'm like, chill. Like that's not ultimately true. You are not the one paying the tariff. It's the company that's getting charged that interest, that fee. What the company does, that's totally different. Can we see, obviously, as a consumer, a raise in price? Well, of course, that's the company has to say, well, do I take the hit and make less profit, or do I simply raise the price and remain my profit? But it's the company's decision at that point. It's not that we are automatically directly getting affected and we're automatically. And the downfall right now with a lot of people do that, and there's obviously people taking advantage of that. Not going to say the name of the company because that's not what I'm here for, but literally the day that Trump said, hey, I really want to move forward on imposing a 25% tariff on Canada, there was companies out there that not even that big of companies. They're like nothing, no shade, like mom and pops companies, right? Tariffs are going up, we're raising our prices 10%. Wait a minute, like the man hasn't even signed the bill. Like, what are you doing? Again, why does that do? Because it's just that pandemonium, that's fear, that's what media does. Here, we go off the charts, we go off the candles, we go off whatever information we could find. We don't let our emotions control us. And right now, that's going to be really the biggest factor for you guys, making sure you remain yourself emotions detached, calm. When we're trading, we're trading whatever we're seeing in social media, whatever we like or we don't like or whatever, that's outside the charts, guys. Don't mix one with the other. It's good to know, but don't mix one with the other. So that's one part, obviously understanding the tariff side of things, right? Understanding why. In the long run, I mean, what happens in the long run? I know a lot of people here from the majority right now in this call are from the States, because I know we're doing it at night. When we've done it around two, we have a bunch of UK, Europe, and they love it, right? But right now, the majority here are from the States. When we do that, right? Well, when it happens if you're in the States, longevity side of things, you have to keep in mind numbers, guys. So Canada, for example, with their products and goods that they send over to the States, that covers, I think it was like 19-20% of their GPD, right? Of their whole, like their own dollar, how the economy moves, it's almost 20% of them selling products to the States. For Mexico, it's like 38-40%. It's very heavy on the Mexico side to the US, their GDP, like their economy level, right? But when we're talking about the US, both Canada and Mexico combined, it's less than 3%. It's just numbers there, guys. It's facts, it's numbers. So the worst thing that could happen this week is we get freaked out because we see these big numbers, because we allow like media's be like, oh my God, like, oh, that sucks. If you wanted to buy your car, you're not buying a new one now because it's 25%. So if the total was 50, just add 25 now. Now you're paying more. That's not true, guys. It's like ultimately, that's not exactly how it works. But at the end of the day, all we need to do is just focus on the charts and do what we have to do. So please, again, I just repeat it one more time. Don't let everything that's happening right now get to your emotions and you transfer those emotions to trading. Everything we do in this life is energy. As you guys know, in my live sessions, I love to listen to music and this and that. I have it on my phone to the side, everything, because it's all energy. So whatever energy you bring when you sit to the charts, that's what you're bringing to the charts. So just do a little bit of research on the number side of things. Understand, like, yes, like you're saying, Andrea, doesn't it pass cost on the consumer? It depends. So like Andrea, so I'm in Mexico jersey. I'm from Mexico, and I'm selling you my jerseys, and my jersey is costing me 50 cents, and I'm selling it to $20. I can make the decision to say, you know what, I'm gonna sell you my shirt now for 18, or I'm gonna sell it to you for 22. It's costing me $2. I'm still do I make $14 profit, or do I make $12 profit instead? If I want to remain making 14, we'll have to raise the price on you. And you as a consumer have the decision at that point to say, well, you know what? I don't want to pay $2 more when this other retail is not selling it for $2 more. At the end of the day, that's how it falls. And I've ran companies for a long time, like in the retail side of things. So that's why I know a little bit of this side of things too. But that's that I want to speak about. Other thing too, obviously everything that happened right now through the other information that we're looking at, right? So like banks right now in the UK side of things, Barclay banks, a lot of their banks, they're having some sort of errors. We had this same situation happen in the United States with Bank of America as well, where next thing you know, you logged in, it was at zero. You're like, wait a second, I did not have $0. I had some money in there. Freaked out. Everybody was worried. And next thing you know, $24, $40 there, it was fixed. The same situation is happening right now in the UK with Barclays Bank more than anything. Is there something directly going on with Barclays? Who knows? But it's just one of those news outlets that's out. So the moment that people can't get into their banks, if you have a Barclays bank, what happens? It's an attack. It's this, it's that, it's cyber, it's not working. Like everybody has an opinion and it gets tossed all everywhere. Again, calm down, wait for what actual needs to happen. Same thing happened with Bank of America here in the States when that happened. Everybody was freaking out. And then 24 hours later, it was like, sorry, yo, like there was a glitch in our system. We had to update it. It works now. We're good. So it's just chill, wait, figure out what's happening. Supposedly it hasn't came out yet, but supposedly the Paraguay Canal, whatever, like how all that works through all the goods that come through that. Panama, is it Panama, Paraguay? I can't remember where it was, but it's a big trading port, basically. It is getting supposedly shut off to China completely, and it's going to be more heavy on the US. That could obviously make some more movements, move things around. We saw direct missile attacks from the first time now from the US. There were direct missiles attacked straight to ISIS planners, and they were targeted, they were killed. So there's a lot, like literally in the last 48 hours, guys, from the market closed till it opens, there's been so many things, right? Obviously, prayers, everything, the whole nine. It's just unfortunate. It's horrible, right? The situation with the planes falling all over the place, like there's just so much stuff going on right now to where again we need to remain calm, not let those emotions get to us, and we need to make sure we try to do what we gotta do. Okay. So I just wanted to share that message first before anything. And then we get now heavy into what we do here with the Sunday market outlook call, go over the news, fundamentals, go over the charts, and get down to it. All right. So thank you very much for paying attention to my little 2-minute speech there. Let's get to it. Let me share the screen here. Cool. Screen is shared. Let me go ahead and have just the participants right here so I can keep on adding them. And I'm going to go ahead and put the chat right here so I could see y'all. So I'm sorry if you guys see a little box over here on this side. Again, I just need to make sure I got you guys taken care of. All right. Fundamentals for the week. So fundamentals for the week, what we have going here. Tomorrow, Monday, we have some news already. Final manufacturing, ISM manufacturing, construction spending, Ward's vehicle sales, Bostic, loan officer. Really from these, the main ones that I want us to pay attention to tomorrow, guys, is going to be construction spending, as always, because we know that that's a leading indicator for recession. Ward's total vehicle sales, very important. It's another lead indicator for recession. And with everything happening right now with obviously the tariffs and everything, that's big. So we need to pay attention to what happens there. I know that GM right now is actually fighting to win a bid that's supposedly happening for Porsche. So Porsche wants to actually, to be able to maintain sales in the US, they want to actually add a plant here, and they're looking to do that, I think on Tennessee, I think where they're looking to place it. So that way they'll be made in the US, not just assembled, actually made in the US, or just because of the tariffs and everything. So again, that's already happening from now. Like they're already looking at plans to happen in 2027, 29, things of that nature. But that's always important to see where that's going. And then loan officer survey, that as well as another lead indicator for recession. Nothing heavy we're trading tomorrow. It's going to be more of just figuring out those data for the long-term plays. Tuesday, Getting into Tuesday, we have Jolt's opening. That obviously always moves. That's going to be a good one. And the news that's happening this week so far, like the first 2 days, that's a little bit late. So we'll have a clean pre-opening bell at 7:30 Central, clean opening bell at 8:30. Happy for that for sure. Tuesday, no, Tuesday I'm with you guys. Tuesday I'm with you guys. I was going to say I'm not with you Tuesday, but no, I am going to be with you this Tuesday. Wednesday is the bigger day. So Wednesday we have ADP non-farm employment happening at 7:15 a.m. Weird time. I don't like that. So that I think could actually affect a little bit of the pre-bell movement. We have news again at 8:45, 9. It's just weird times that we have news. I'm not very excited for Wednesday to be able to get a big move. I think we're going to be able to scalp a lot of little scalps, but we just have a lot of news in different little pockets of the hours, and I don't like it when it's like that. It's not that we're not going to be able to have a successful day. It's just it gets a little bit bouncy. A lot of times we can't really fall into a nice channel and moves a little bit back and forth. So we'll see what happens there when it comes to Wednesday. Thursday is probably my better day, to be honest. Thursday, we have a lot of GAP news, which not that we really trade it like that, but it's good that we're having like heavy news in other sides too. But really, the good time that I like is 7:30. Great time, as you know, to trade NAS and gold. It likes to make a movement regardless. And then we have unemployment claims at that same time. Non-farm productivity, great. Unit labor costs, great. Lots of good news happening at that time. Really interested on that one. And then something that you guys could see, I think I want to pay attention for this one too. The one I want to pay attention to is natural gas. So gas, as you've seen for the last few weeks, has been orange or even red. This one for the first time is yellow. It's a little bit suspicious. Little bit suspicious. I'm gonna pay attention to that one. Little sus. But Thursday, 7:30 should be an amazing time for trade, and it should leave us an amazing opening bell as well. And lastly, we go into Friday. Again, Friday is a big trading day. Friday, if there's no session at that time, not promising you anything, but Friday, I might actually do a bonus trade with you guys, a bonus session, just because I like this news. I love it when at 7:30 we have average hourly, non-farm, unemployment. It's great. I know people are saying it's fuzzy. I'm not sure, guys. I'm not doing anything different. I'll unshare the screen, share it back, and maybe it'll look a little better. But if you could hear me, that's most important right now that you could hear me clear. So for Friday, like I said, 7:30 Central Standard Time, most likely I'll have a bonus session so we could trade average hourly earnings, non-farm employment change, unemployment rates, all happening at the same time. Interesting, everything that's happening right now with Canada. We have an employment change, unemployment rate at the same time. Not that it'll affect NAS directly. It could make a little bit of move on gold, but it's interesting that it's happening at that same time with everything going on. Then we have the opening bell, of course, at 8:30. Then we have consumer sentiment, inflation expectations at 9. Friday's going to be a really good day, and then consumer credit. Consumer credit is one that I need you guys to pay attention to for sure. I'm not trading it because that's that far into the day. But as you can see, consumer credit has always been really bad, really been negative by billions, like billions, billions. And this is really just the value of outstanding consumer credit that requires installments, right? So just basically people that are in the hole with their cards and how comfortable lenders feel on issuing new loans, right? It's just a fact of how much they want to move money. It's interesting to me that we've had negative. I mean, literally, we were -7 billion, -3 billion, -17 billion, -7 billion, but now we're positive 13 billion. Like, it's a big move. This is going to be very interesting, guys, because if this, again, I'm not interested to trade it, I'm interested on the numbers. Because what this means, if we go into the 13 billion, that means that banks, lenders are actually going to get comfortable on loaning money, which we haven't seen that because the interest rates have been so high. So this means that we could possibly see interest rates actually drop. Last time with interest rates, as we saw with FOMC, they paused it. They didn't raise it. They didn't lower it. They just paused it. Last week, I mentioned to you guys, same thing Rich mentioned to you guys, Ezekiel mentioned it as well. They're not going to raise it. They're not going to lower it. It happened, right? Not that we knew insider information or anything like that. It just simply happened. So this, I think, is information that'll actually lead to with the next time when we trade FOMC, this will give us an indication that it would drop. So it helps us actually trade it, right? And then for anything, I mean, I myself, like I personally am this year working on purchasing land. Like my wife and I, we want to purchase land, we want to build, compound everything, the whole nine. This is great information for us. If you are looking to purchase a house or anything, this is great information because that way you know lenders are getting more comfortable on lending more. When they're comfortable lending more, they'll lower the interest rate. So again, we have a lot of good information news happening this week, and we have some good trading news. More than anything, that's going to be Thursday for me and Friday. So keep an eye on the chats. If I do, I'll drop it there in the chats and I'll let you know if I do that bonus session so we could trade Friday together. Cool? We cool with that? All right. I'm going to go ahead and unshare my screen super quick. And I'm going to share it again for those that they say that it looks fuzzy. See if that helps, okay? We're going to unshare it. And then we're going to go and we're going to share it again. All right. Cool. Hopefully that helps for you guys a little bit. Now let's get into the charts. Let's get into the charts. So for gold, we had an amazing week on gold last week. Gold had lots of good moves. I didn't send any tap to trades for gold. The ones that I found, it was always like, damn, that trade at 3 o'clock in the morning would have been amazing. But obviously I was sleeping. So I did not send any tap to trades last week myself. Didn't send any trade alerts on gold. As I mentioned on the last Outlook call last Sunday, I said, hey guys, don't expect really anything from gold for me this week. I don't think it's going to do nothing but go up. It pretty much went up, as we know, just it went up. Like, let me move it back a little bit more to the 1 hour. So yeah, it as you can see, it went fully into that complete, just bull run nonstop. Beautiful. I know those that are trading, they were doing great. They did take a lot of buys. That's awesome. But today we had obviously a heavy drop, guys. Heavy drop. And a lot of that leads to all the information that I shared with you at the beginning. And that's why I wanted to share that, right? A lot of that led to everything that's going on, the tariffs, the war situations, the planes, the Panama Canal, like all this stuff, the tariffs, what the responses from the tariffs, like all this stuff leads into that. Now, gold rises means the gold drops its value. Gold drops means the dollar gains its value. Right now, again, it's the charts. The media tell us that with these tariffs and everything, we're going straight to recession and we are just going to all die here. That is true. Why is gold dropping? Because when gold drops, that means the dollar goes up in value. Candles never freaking lie, guys. The candles never lie. Never. So we're having a big drop, which needs to be a correction. It reached the 2,800, which I had mentioned that's what I was waiting for really last week. So last week, Sunday, were we on the call? I said, hey guys, we're going to drop to go up. Drop to go up. That's just not my world of trading. I don't like buying gold. I like selling gold. Therefore, I didn't touch anything. But it dropped and it went to that zone that I was saying somewhere around that 2750. Why? Because I wanted to touch this high again for this break of structure and level off this. Level off it, went up beautifully. Right now with gold, we have a situation of, my opinion, humble opinion. I think we should drop. We do. I'm back on top of trade this week for sure. I think we should really drop. Right now, where we're at is super pivotal, literally right now. Because if you go all the way back, guys, we could literally see all of this. It's been riding perfectly in this channel, beautifully in this channel. This is something that I teach on my Understanding the Market video that I have on the Educator training series. Beautiful. buy, sell, buy, sell, boom, 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 boom. Beautiful. It's just been playing all since 30th, right? Beautiful. Just nonstop. Now, will it continue? Will it break? Retest, break, retest, break, retest, break, retest, break, retest. As you guys can see, there's a lot of room for gold to come back. A lot of room. It's just the fact how far is it going to go, but I wouldn't rush. As much as I love selling, I wouldn't rush into selling right now. I was tempted, believe me. If today was a Tuesday, depending how was I feeling, did I have breakfast yet or not? Did I have my fresca yet or not? It really kind of just depends how adventurous do I feel if I wanted to try to sell right at the top, which that would be where we're kind of at right now, right? Because it could literally break right here and just be done and just completely jump off a cliff and go all the way to 1750 without a problem. And if it breaks that, then I'll go all the way to 1700 with a problem. And if it breaks that, then I'll go all the way down to 1680, all the way to 75, all the way to 65. And then from there, guys, we go all the way back to this line. This line, I've left it here purposely because I would love to see gold touch again this 2278. Would love to see gold down there. Will it go down? I don't know, guys. Like, truly don't. I know the zones that it needs to continue to break, but literally where it's at right now, it's at such a pivotal point to either continue in our bull channel, continue in this bull rally, break, and fake and come back, or break, retest it, and drop. So I wouldn't touch personally gold right now the way I trade. For example, I know Gold has sent, Joel has sent some trade alerts that he trades very differently. He has different stop losses, take profits, the whole nine. Obviously, he has great results, great numbers. So that's him. But the way that I scalp, it's not enough for me because for me to sell, I would literally, my stop loss would be right here. And in reality, for me to be safe for this to not fake out and drop, it needs to be somewhere around here. I'm not comfortable enough selling yet. I need to wait and see what's going to happen with it going out, coming back in, right? So that's for gold, guys. Again, keep an eye on the news of what's happening because a lot of what's happening right now with the whole tariffs and this and that will affect gold. But what you guys cannot do is almost take a side, right? Or fall directly for what the media says. Because the media right now, as I mentioned, media's with everything that's happening, they're saying we're going straight into a recession and the dollar is worthless. Then why is this happening? It's the complete opposite, right? So you can't fall for that direct emotion. Or if you personally, right, like I'm wearing a Mexico jersey, like born in the US, made in Mexico. So it's like I can't get emotional either and be like, nah, I'm Mexican, screw this, dollar's gonna go down. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and buy. Like, no, like I can't do that. Like, I can't. The candles are telling me from the way that I trade, right? This was a beautiful sell right here. This little retest, touch, drop, double top here was a beautiful sell. I just don't trade on Sundays. We would have cashed out right there. Gone back up, retest, gone back up 50%, sell again. Boom. Comes back up, get taken out. Comes back up. Here, I wouldn't have got in yet. I would have probably waited to get into here if it were to reach up here and drop down. So again, candles do not lie, guys. 100%. The candles do not lie. But we need to pay attention because if something were to happen right now, like, oh, damn, this country did this to the US, or this country agreed to this, or this happened, damn, something is going to happen. Let me go look at the charts. I'm not going to take to the charts my emotions. I'm not going to take to the charts. Oh man, yeah, US is definitely not winning this one. Gold has to go up. Let me buy. No. Or even with that idea of, oh damn, this is great for the US dollar. So definitely it's selling. Let me look for the sell. No. Oh damn, this high impact situation, this news, this just happened. Let me rush to the chart and let me see what the candles are telling me. Is this a buy or is this a sell? based off this news, based off this movement, we should have some heavy volume and a big move, a big candle. These candles are big candles to be 1 hour candles right now for gold. Look at these candles, guys. That's a gold candle all day. Look at those tiny candles. These are gold candles all day. Tiny candles, tiny candles. Big news over the weekend, and we get some big freaking candles on gold, right? It's just set for you to have more volume and have a little bit more pips. Cool. Are we good with that? Drop me some twos in the chat if everybody's cool with that. We'll move over to NAS now. Move over to my baby NAS. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Awesome. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. NAS is in a similar situation. Nasty Nas. Man, Nasty Nas last week. Crazy. Nasty Nas last week. Monday. Wait, what was it? No, Tuesday. First immediate sell, stop loss. Your boy had stop loss in the first trade of the week, but we came back strong right away with another two trades. And the cool thing is last week, the little that we lost, there was such big wins. So it was like we lost 200 pips, we made 520. We lost 100 pips, we made 1,000. The trade alerts, sheesh, the trade alerts that I hit, 1,800 pips, 1,800 pips, rich, 2,000 pips, like TP3, TP4s, like we were just killing it on the trade alert side of things for sure. Luis was sending out his Elliott waves on the NAS thing, just crushing it. Like we destroyed NAS for sure when it came to trade alerts. The last one I did lose it, it was so dumb. But the cool thing is that I saw, and that's the beauty of this skill set, and that's really what I like. It's weird when I say this, right? So it's like I send a trade, you guys copy it, win, we all win. I feel great. But there's times where I almost feel a little bit better when I send it, it loses. But then 5, 10 minutes later, I get tagged like crazy and I see screenshots and on Instagram of thanks for the idea. I'd hit stop loss, but I saw it and I re-entered here and I made triple. And I was like, yo, that right there feels 10 times better than just sending it and hitting TP immediately. Because I know what we are doing here is providing that skill set, that value that you guys could take. Like that makes me feel so freaking good. I know Rich, same thing when he sees those videos, right? Lisa, like, hey, I know we had one of passes and promise future, anything like that, guys, but there was one, I can't remember his name, I'm horrible with names. He posted that he made $14,000 on a trade thanks to the Sunday market outlook call, thanks to a trade alert that I had sent, thanks to using Liberty on it. He took it by himself, $14,000. Like, yo, like that right there, like that's where it's worth it. That's where all these long nights are completely, completely worth this, right? So, NAS, we had fun with it, right? Nasty Nas, where was it? 27th? Yeah, here. So we obviously had our bull target for the week, had our bear target for the week. Got really close to both of them. Funny thing is that last Sunday, I said, hey guys, I don't know why. I don't know why, but I have a feeling that when the market opens, we're going to get one of those nasty 1,000 pip drops. What did it do? Market opened. The 1,000 pip drop immediately. It did that and it set the tone for NAS just beautifully to do what it had to do, right? Dropped all the way down, came to the zones that we wanted to, came up perfectly, came back. It was just playing nice. And as you could see, some nice trade alerts that were sent out here, live trades, beautiful trades. Like it was just a good overall week, even with the stop losses that we hit, because it's normal. That's going to happen. What's crazy is that last week I went 7 and 4 last week, so it's not a good win reward ratio, but my pip count was like off the roof more than the normal because of those big trade alerts, because of those big trades that we had during the week. It was crazy, right? It was crazy. And even akashx uploaded a story of like that I had posted on the live session of like everybody because they were passing their prop firms accounts during the calls, like in the morning. Like it was an insane week because the wins that we had were just so big, right? Which that's the beauty of forex. So with that, NAS did what it had to do at the end. It clocked me and then it dropped. But on that drop, you guys made it too. Now, the opening today. So today, obviously, we're talking about NAS. We're talking about tech companies. We have a lot of tech situations happening right now in the world too. So what happens with the whole, everything started last week, the big drops with the DeepSeek situation, right? So DeepSeek supposedly, right? Supposedly over the weekend, DeepSeek got hacked. They're being held for ransom. Some saying yes, some saying no. Who knows what's going on? But there's situations happening with DeepSeek there. Others, Alibaba, I think, what was it like this morning or something like that, whatever, trying out how it works, whatever, the time zones. They announced that they have their own AI now. They're launching their own AI. They said the name. They didn't share information of what it's doing, but it's supposed to be a direct competition to ChatGPT and DeepSeek. Craziness. NVIDIA last week, which, as you know, my computer went to the hospital and I had to go take her and pick her up and everything. When I got there, there was like freaking 40 people lined up with tents outside of Micro Center. So NVIDIA came out with a new graphic of whatever card thing, 570, 590, whatever the heck it's called. People lined up, sold, and instantly their stock soared because of that. So whatever NVIDIA got hurt from DeepSeek, they came with a temple without a problem with that right away. A lot of tech situations happening. Tesla, uh, through, not Tesla, SpaceLink, whatever, the SpaceLink thing for the internet, they just announced that they're partnering with T-Mobile. So now with T-Mobile, you're going to be able to, when you don't have Wi-Fi, you could pay an additional service so you could have signal no matter where you go because it's going off the space, whatever X satellite thing for Starlink. And the more Starlinks that are going to be out in the world and area, I'll give you even more. So that's like a whole big tech situation happening. Big things happening with techs and cars too, like I mentioned, for the fact if GM does acquire the Porsche manufacturing and they make Porsches US and the United States, there's tech to it. That's more tech stuff. So there's a lot of tech situations happening right now. But with everything happening with the tariffs, it's a big deal too. So if you think about it, Apple's a big player in NAS 100. Where do the chips come? Where's the manufacturing coming from? It's not in the US. Lot of again, this NAS really gets into a sticky situation when this happens, right? Gets into a really sticky situation. Yeah, T-Mobile and iPhone. So there's a lot right now up in the air with these companies as far as what they're doing, what they're handling. This right here that you're seeing, guys, right now is just fear. This right here, this big gap, this drop happening right now of the market. This one right here, last week I said was correction. Correction was overdue. Correction was overdue. Correction is overdue. Correction is overdue. It's repetition, guys. Last week when I said, hey guys, it's dropping, thousand drop, Rich said, hey guys, it's dropping, correction. This right here is not a correction because we were still going upwards. We still had a cover here. We still had to get a freaking bull target. Like I'm guys, that is still there by the way. Because I know somebody's gonna ask me what's my bull week, my bull target for the week. It's still 22200. Still, that hasn't changed. Gotta see that freaking number hit. Now, this right here is just fear with everything. This right here is uneducated people not having the knowledge, freaking out with their 401ks and their investments and stuff like that of like, oh my God, it's dropping, so let's just get rid of it and sell it now. This is what's happening. 222200 iPhone. 22,200 is my bull week target still. Right there. So with that said, we have to wait for companies that are in that NAS 100 side to come out and be like, hey guys, chill, don't worry about it. We already got this fixed. It's done. Relax. And then we'll have those level investors kind of come back again, do what they got to do. But this is why most likely we're seeing this big drop. We're seeing these sorts of reactions of this happening because it's just simply fear. That's all it is because we don't know what's happening. And the majority of this is because of the tariffs. The majority of it, the tariffs and the whole like it's the trade war because again it's the market will always move by wars and that's what you guys need to understand. War doesn't just mean boots on the ground. Like war doesn't mean just, well, I'm gonna throw you a missile if you throw me one, and they're throwing missiles back and forth, pressing buttons. No, that's not all the war that there is. There's something called trade wars. Right now, what's happening is a trade war with the whole tariff situation. Who's gonna have more power? And like as I mentioned, it's a long-term play, guys. Again, I don't know the exact same numbers. I'm gonna look for those numbers. I'll share them for you guys, or somebody could find them, obviously post them. But it literally shows if you break down the calculation of that GPT, whatever what it is, the whole it cannot like Canada's economy, almost 20% depends on them sending stuff to the US. Almost 40% depends on Mexico sending stuff to the US. Both of them combined, if right now Canada says, I'm not sending you guys nothing anymore. Mexico says, I'm not sending you guys nothing no more. The US economy would drop 2%, less than 2%. I think it was less than 2% or less than 4%. If it was the other way around, if the US is out, you're not sending nothing anymore, Mexico, theirs could drop up to 40%. Canada, you're not sending nothing to us anymore. That's good. We don't want you guys. Theirs could drop up to 20%. China, that's why they only did 10% too. So understand, like overall, NAS still needs to go up. Even with the whole tariff situations, even with everything that's happening, NAS still has to go up. The gaps always get filled, guys. Always. Sooner or later, they get filled. I know, let me go ahead and move this here so it's a little bit cleaner. There you guys. As you guys see here, we have lots, all these lines are basic just liquidity, either pockets, gaps, everything. They're just points of interest where the market will most likely like to touch if it wants to. Doesn't mean it's going to, it means it can touch, right? If we continue to drop, I think the farthest that we could really go to and like just to push some panic, I think we could break the 20,000. If we were to break 20,000 and head into that 19,800, 19,600, that would create a lot of panic, which again, think about it. Banks, the 1%, our money, all that stuff, whatever, institutions versus retail. You want to panic everybody out that's been from here. You bought in right here. You had a big up. I know that's going to put a bunch of lines. I'm sorry. Just try to bear with me here. Wait, do I have another NAS chat? I think this one. Yeah. This will be a little bit cleaner, I think. Yeah. NAS goes up back in August 24. Boom, up, down. Damn, this is a good opportunity. As a long-term investment, swing, whatever, great point to buy. It's never dropped 50%, guys. It's never dropped 50%. And now we have all of this situation happening. All the situation happening. All the fears happening. What happens? We click right there, that 50%. We block everybody out. And if you guys see right here, there's a gap right here. Literally 19,458 NAS on the future side of things. So it's going to be different on you guys. But it's going to be here. Go back to Monday, the 16th of September of 2024 at 2 o'clock at the 14 hour, right? UTC 6 is the time frame that I have. If you go down there, there's a gap right there. That gap has not been filled. Remember, guys, I know somebody asked like, hey, is the gap going to be filled? Yeah, not always. I mean, the gap will always be filled. It just won't be filled immediately, but it'll always be filled. There's been a gap since September 16th, 2024 that's not been filled. This could easily come, fill it, fill that 50%, freak everybody out. Everybody starts panic selling and the institutions buy, and we go right back up into our bull run that NAS needs to do and continue doing. Right now, I think with everything that's going on, we're in that perfect scenario for this to happen. It could alternatively just bounce off here, correct right away, fill the gap, and then continue going up too. So I'm not saying, hey, sell right now because we're going to grab it all the way down there. I'm not saying that, guys. But I'm just saying, like, this that's happening right now is beautiful for the institutions. Absolutely beautiful for the institutions. for us to have that big drop to fill that gap. September 14th. September 14th. We have a beautiful gap right here. There's a gap. It shows on my futures one. There's a gap. So we could come all the way down and fill that up and then come up. So 19,500-ish, I think would be a really good low for us to see. Would be at that 19,548, 19,500. Yeah, exactly. Like that would be a really good, like an absolute low that we could see. I think could be that, guys. An absolute low. It would make sense. It would freak everybody out. It would be just heaven for the institutions. Because they would have this year, there hasn't been like a full low. Like if you go back to like this year so far, from the New Year's, we had December, January. Like this is January right here. Down, up, down, up, down, up. There hasn't been a good level for institutions to grab that bottom, keep on going, come back, wipe everybody up, and go up. Because the institutions are the ones that are always going to win versus retail. It hasn't happened this year. So with this, they were able to clean everybody out, stop hunt everybody, hit all the stop losses they need to hit, come down to that 19.4-ish, be able to take off the 50% of the last big drag to make sure that anybody was in, they got wiped out too. And we start fresh the year now at a low point, just the institutions, not retail. Or we cover this gap and we keep on going up, one or the other, guys. So that's it for me for NAS right now. Again, I'm gonna wait to see if we hit this 22,200. My bear target, at least for this week, is still 2,800. Still. But ultimately, like I said, I would love this to come down to that 19,500-ish area. That would be amazing if it comes down to that 19,500 because it's a beautiful correction where it's like a good, fresh, good, clean page to start off the year. That would be amazing. What do you put on trade so long? It just depends, Ruben. Ruben. It depends, bro. There's people that really like to swing trade. They don't like to do what we do, like in it, which I love it. There's people, I mean, think about it, Ruben. You you're a millionaire right now. You're playing golf, mm, riding your yacht, doing boring stuff that millionaires do, right? Do you want to be sitting down on the charts in an office? No, bro. You want to be playing golf and riding off your helipad on the yacht, right? I don't know why. That's not my stuff. That's not my vibe. But you would rather just have somebody for you say, yeah, you know what, we're gonna long mass right now, collect the buy at this area. I'll talk to you in 6 months. That's it. That's it. If you have big pockets, like do the number. Go right now into your trade locker and put a buy, like put a pending buy at 68, 69,000. A pending buy and put the TP at 108,000 and look how much money you'd be making just off one trade. But we're talking about that was way back from November until now. But I'm talking about go ahead and put a lot size 20. I'm not saying about putting a lot size 0.01. Like big fat lot size and you let it run. If you lose it, you lose it. Who cares? You have more investments coming through. You could do it at a lower level. It's not that you don't need to have money, right? There are swing traders that you could do with a lower investment and go from here to here and make $1,000 in a matter of 3 months. Cool. That's you. That's you. I would rather scout the life out of this even if I make the same amount. It's just better for me. I like to trade. Yes, my live sessions are Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. Rich's live sessions are Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. So we're back to back. Mondays and Fridays, you will not find me trading. I don't like Mondays because there's not a lot of the like market set up yet. And then Fridays, that's something that I call correction Fridays. The market likes to correct. I'm not huge on it unless there's good news. Same thing for Monday. If there's good news, and that's different because I'll trade just that high impact news. I'm in there 15 minutes before, trade it, and then I'm out. I'm not staying there for longer. Now, Bitcoin. And a lot of people have been asking about Bitcoin too. I'm not a crypto trader. We have Armin for that. We have Jenna right now trading Bitcoin. I'm not a crypto trader, but I have followed Bitcoin for the last 5 years. I'll repeat what I said last week because a lot of people were still asking this. Guys, for Bitcoin, when in doubt, zoom out. Zoom out to the freaking week or the month. Don't zoom out just to the day. Like, zoom the hell out. Okay, this is per week. This is a week on Bitcoin, okay? The market loves to repeat. What does the market do? Goes up, down, up, down. Breaks up, down, up, comes back down to it. Up 50%. Drop, drop, takes care of that. Drops even more, takes care of this. Up, drop, 50%. Drop, takes everybody else out. Up, drop, takes everybody else. Up, drop, takes everybody out. Up, drop, takes everybody out. Literally does the exact same thing. And this is why I don't trade Bitcoin cryptos, because they charge large spreads and fees and all that stuff. Cryptos, I like to just go ahead and buy right here and I'll come out right here. So that's a little bit different for me. But Bitcoin does what it does always, guys. Bitcoin is not just going to go up nonstop. It's always going to do the exact same thing. Goes up, retraces 50%, goes up a little bit more, fakes everybody out like, oh no, we're in an all-time high. Like, guys, it's literally right. Like, we're not going to talk about right now. Let's go back here, guys. Like literally, even if you're brand new here and you don't have like super experienced trading, like common sense isn't common, but logic is. Sweet, we're buying. Let's go. We're an all-time high. Let's buy right now. Psych. Stop losses. All-time high. Psych. Stop losses. All-time high. Psych. Stop losses. All-time high. Psych. Stop losses. And you guys keep on doing the exact same thing. Anytime it makes a new all-time high, what do you guys do? You buy. Yay! This is called retail traders. This is called hype trading. This is called TikTok trading, right? Like YouTube University trading. You buy at an all-time high. What are you doing? Like, don't wait for it. But what happens? You get FOMO, fear of missing out. FOMO. FOMO. Don't get FOMO. Don't. Like, guys, I can tell you this. If you think you're going to get rich immediately on Bitcoin, guess what? You are late by 10 years, my friend. You are late by 10 years. Can you still make some money on it? Of course, everybody does. But there's no reason for you to be hype buying and putting the entire house and all this stuff, whatever, because you are late by 10 years. But just because you didn't come in at 2015 and it went up, didn't mean you couldn't have got back in at 2019. And because it went back up, you couldn't have gone back in 2020. Because it went back up, you couldn't go back in 21. Because it went back up, you couldn't back in at late 21. Because you didn't get back on at late 21 doesn't mean that you could have gotten maybe even at 22, suffered and dollar cost average again at 22 to 23. You would have been great. And if you were late, then you could have gone in mid 23. And then if you were late, you could have gone in at late 23. And if you were late again, one more time, well, you could have gone in at July 24. And if you were late again, you guys get what I'm saying? You get it? Why I said last time, hey guys, Rich said the same thing. Guys, once it hits 110, it's a psychological number. It's, again, it makes an all-time high, drops, comes back down to barely break it to make a new all-time high, and it tanks. This is why Rich and I both said, guys, 110,000 is a great number for Bitcoin to drop heavy. It went to 1,009, for 1137, whatever. Rich and I are not both like focused on this, but it's just by looking at it, it's like Bitcoin is repetitive as hell. Bitcoin at this pace of what it does, yes, guys, I truly believe that Bitcoin has a potential to get a 300. And I know Robert Kiyosaki is like 7,000. It has a potential to go as far as the people wants it to go, right? Think here, just like Rich and I said before, I think it's going to come down to the 64-ish, and even better, come down to around between 38 and 34. That would be great if it comes down to these zones. I don't buy Bitcoin like that because it's already, to me, it's like I would rather buy a full coin, and I don't really want to drop 67,000 on just one coin when there's more possibilities out there. But if I were to find myself bored and scalped and I want to trade on TradexMastery, Trident, whatever Bitcoin, most likely you'll find me buying around 64. You'll find me buying around 34, right? I might grab a little bit on the 30-ish if it does come down that zone, because that would be great. Because then at that point, just like it done before, new all-time high, drop, it'll make another new all-time high, drop, and it'll make another new all-time high. And sometimes it'll push a little bit more with news, with world situations happening, with technology. It can make that extra little push to take us to that big next level, to get to a ridiculous hype number of 100,000, to then freak out the market, but it'll always come back again, retrace 50%, go up to make a new all-time high, grab all the retailers, drop again, then go up again, sigh, come one more time, and then go up. This is why I don't trade Bitcoin. But it's just what it is. When in doubt, zoom out. Is there opportunities to make? If you like to trade Bitcoin, again, Joe likes to trade Bitcoin. Janet likes to trade Bitcoin. Armin's a crypto educator. They're going to be able to give you the answer a lot better than I do. All that I'm talking about right now, guys, is just candles. I don't know any other information as far as like utilities and contracts and government and all this stuff that they like actually study for, because I don't send signals for this. I don't trade it. I don't do nothing for it. I don't care for it. So that's why I don't research on it like that. Cool. So you definitely want to go for them for actual information. Right here where it's at, we could level out and we could see a good consolidation. You guys see what it did here? You guys see what it did right here? What it did right here, 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 what it did right here. Well, it could do it right here too, guys. Because I mean, it's obviously done it a handful of times, right? It's done it a little bit more than once, guys. So because it's done it a little bit more than once, what we could see here is that consolidation and then that breakout, or that consolidation come down, consolidate, maybe come up, come up, then come down, maybe just come down straight. Like Bitcoin, there's so much more to it, and there's so much manipulation. I mean, I know Rich might use this for his YouTube, so I don't want to say some certain things and get him shadow banned, but Bitcoin is heavily manipulated by one power, and that's all I will say. You guys could do your research. We've spoken about this particular company in the past for other reasons, but I will not say it. If you guys know what I'm talking about, you could drop it in the chat. I will not say the name. Uh, yeah, starts with the B, ends with a K, but that's as far as I'll say. So yeah, it's heavily manipulated. Someone say the name. You guys are afraid of saying it too. Yeah, see, Zoom user doesn't know his name on there. Zoom user is like, man, nobody knows who I am. I'm Zoom user. Good luck finding me, yo. But yeah, so again, you guys could go, like the cool thing about crypto is decentralized. You guys could go see these wallets and who owns them. And you could see who owns the majority of Bitcoin. Yeah. The ones that I mentioned last week that I'm waiting for is XLM. This is one that my pride and joy right here, guys. This drawing, I did it last week. This is where we were last week. And I said, guys, I'm not selling right now, but this would be a banger sell if you want to scalp this. I just don't do it because the fees are really high. Because I believe it's going to drop. And when it drops, I'm going in. Not a financial advisor, not telling you guys what to do. I was just sharing what I am targeting for XLM. I've been trading XLM for years. I've been holding it. I love it. I love the utility for what it's going to do. I just love it. Yeah, Chris, I know. I don't know why it's fuzzy, bro. Sorry, I truly have no idea. I'm about to end the call right now in 2 minutes, so I have no idea. But XLM is one that I've been holding for a long time. I mentioned this to you guys last week when we were at the level 4 of the Elliott wave. It is riding beautifully off the level 4 of the Elliott wave. We should see this break right here at the 3. That's why I have that yellow line right there to where it breaks. It continues this channel, and we make our way down. My target for XLM is right around 20 to 18 cents. Anywhere around that 18 cents, I just said flat to give a number, but really we'll see how it's jumping in the shorter time frame once it reaches that low. And at that point, I am interested in buying. There's no stop loss for me, really, because the stop loss is 0 cents. And even then with crypto, when it goes to 0 cents, it could come back. That's the cool thing about it. So I'm waiting to grab it at 18 cents. And my target is $4.20 by the end of May. Crazy. It's a lot, but that's what I'm looking for when it comes to XLM. That's the one that I trade most. If you guys are still holding with me ADA, we called that out back in September. Grew almost 300%. Heavy retracement. We could still come in again at a good level too to do the same thing. I think we might see another drop around the 35 cents where we kind of came in to grab it again. It's another one that I'll be buying. Chainlink did a nice drop, guys. Chainlink is one that I love, but I haven't really spoken much to you guys about it because of how high it's been. But it's actually leveling out pretty nice. Chainlink, I would really love for it to come at least to like $10, $10, and I would consider buying more of what I've had. Those are the three ones that I look at: Chainlink, ADA, XLM. Like I said, ADA, if it come back into that 35, 40 cents, that'd be great. Chainlink, if it come down to $11, $10, that'd be awesome. And even lower, to be honest. Like I would really love it to go. It's so hard because if it goes lower, then it could like get stuck down here, and I don't want to get it stuck down here. But I would, oh guys, you guys have no idea how beautiful was it to be able to buy Chainlink when it was $3. It was just a dream. And I have some. I bought some at $3. I've been holding this, guys, for 5 years. This is the reality of crypto, guys. When you believe in a project and you know the utility, you hold it for 5 years and you don't come back and look at it. But it obviously I got in when it was at 30 cents and it went to an all-time high of 52. The downfall here, my mistake, guys, is that I fell with the whole diamond hands. It's going to $100. We're gonna be millionaires. And I didn't even take on my initial investment, guys. I'm obviously in profits, but it's like, bro, I could have cut off at least half. I could have taken my money out, my investment out. I could have profited like 50% of that and still be in profits. But I did the whole diamond hands BS. No, I know better now, and you guys know better too. So I would love for it to come back at least into like that $6, $7 range. But if it does, it could get stuck, and I don't want it to get stuck. So even if it comes back down into the, like that $10, $11, that'd be cool enough for me to buy a little bit more again. But XLM really is the play for me, and it's running already beautifully. But that is it for the week, guys. That is it for the Sunday Market Outlook call. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. Remember, guys, we still have the promotion. Anybody that joins akashx right now for a year, instead of paying $1,500, you pay $1,000. Instead of getting a 100K account with no add-ons, you get a 200K account with all add-ons. The promo still for the month, you get your free 10K for 150. So make sure you take advantage of that. Ton of ranks are breaking. Everything's happening here. So make sure you do what you got to do. Plug in with your chats, plug in with your teams. Let's have an amazing trading day. I'll catch you guys in the live sessions, catch you in Rich live sessions, everybody else. Make sure you follow RST. Make sure for everybody new, you send them to akashxlaunch.com to make sure they get properly onboarding. And until then, as always, it's not about getting to the top, but it's about how many people you can bring with. So catch you guys at the top. Peace.